if somebody can figure out how to make the agreement better for everybody, as Bob Barker would say, come on down.
Robert Gibbs does his Bob Barker, and of course the question is the price right?
That is the question, and I would love to see some of those members of Congress jump on stage and give Robert Gibbs a big fat hug. Top Line starts right now.
Hello and welcome to ABC News Top Line. I'm Rick Klein.
And I'm Amy Walter.
Every day at noon Eastern, we're right here bringing you the latest in politics. It's twitter.com/Rick Klein, twitter.com/Amy E. Walter. Is Bob Barker even on TV anymore?
No, he's not. Remember, he's been off for quite a while. It's Drew Carey now
yes.
who does that show, so maybe they should rework that.
That's
but
right.
Anyway, all right. This is a busy week.
It is indeed.
Remember, we had these things called off years, apparently, and those don't exist anymore. We are now deep in lame duck time, and I'm going to start with my first top line, triangulation training. Bill Clinton coming to the White House, 3 o'clock today, meeting with President Obama. God, would we all love to be a fly on that wall to see exactly what advice he gives President Obama and what President Obama is actually going to ask him.
Well, the best thing about President Clinton is he'll probably tell you. I mean, he
Right,
tells
he
you all the time.
doesn't care.
It'll have something to do with, well this is what I did and in my time here. And it actually is very relevant for President Obama at this time. I think that's why the White House is letting us know about this. He is in the process. You could call it whatever you want. It is triangulating. He is positioning parties against each other in his own way. He's building different kinds of coalitions. It's exactly the model that he needs at this moment in time. Next up today, stand down. A disappointing vote yesterday for supporters of repealing Don't Ask, Don't Tell. They fell 3 votes short, but there was another attempt that started again. The question will be whether they've got enough time to get it all done. But take a look at Senator Susan Collins, Republican of Maine. She's someone who wants to support a repeal. This is what she said on the Senate floor.
I'm extremely disappointed that the Senate Majority Leader walked away from negotiations in which we were engaged and which were going well.
I think Harry Reid disagrees about how well those negotiations were going, but these are the same folks that are going to have to work together somehow, and there's only so many weeks left in this legislative year.
Right, and between this and START and the DREAM Act, I mean,
Right.
this thing they keep talking about, we're going to get this done by the end of the lame duck. It's clear none of it is going to get done because we will not have a tax bill, maybe. That's what we're all
Indeed.
waiting on,
Good
which is the
segue.
next top line. Democrats' dilemma. Okay, we know they're angry. We heard a lot about the caucus, very contentious caucus meeting with Vice President Biden, and then the vote. What we heard yesterday was the near unanimous vote against this bill among Democrats. But they don't have a whole lot of room to maneuver. The question now is, one, are they willing to really go to the wall on this and push it off into the next year? Or do they end up voting for it and create what is going to be a very awkward relationship now? Well, actually, regardless, there's a very awkward relationship that's brewing right now between this White House and Congress. Clearly, Democrats in Congress who feel like they've been ignored for the last 2 years, really venting out on this president. But at some point, they got to get on the same team, right?
So much of the story now, I think, Amy, is about pride. And the Democrats want to be able to have something that they can point to. They feel like they were cut out of this. They're still bruised from the election losses of a month ago. They need to get something from Obama, something from the Republicans to be able to walk away and support a deal. I don't think they want to see taxes go up.
No, this is more about a Kubler-Ross moment for them. They need to make it through their stages.
And finally today, Port-au-Palin. Sarah Palin is burnishing her foreign policy credentials. She is headed to Haiti tomorrow with Franklin Graham's organization. And this is interesting. We'll see some more foreign travel in all likelihood from Sarah Palin, but she's choosing Haiti, and she's going just a day after the State Department puts a travel warning for U.S. citizens heading to Haiti.
Well, you know what? Look, we saw in her show the other day, she can hunt caribou, she can take care of herself. She can do this.
I suppose so.
Right? She's not worried about it.
Off to Haiti, indeed.
Security concern.
Of course not. We're joined now by Ilyse Hogue from MoveOn.org, one of the liberal organizations that's up on the air, urging the Democrats to move in a different direction than President Obama. And Ilyse, what's behind this, really, from the Democratic perspective? You know where the votes were. You know where the votes are. You're out there now. President Obama cut a deal. Why is it not good enough?
Well, look, we think that there has been wild miscalculation on what the message of the last election is. We're hearing the White House say that people want to see us agree more. I've got to reach out to the Republicans. We're not talking to the base. We're not even talking to the Democrats in Congress from what we can tell. And why that doesn't work is the American people need to know what the Democrats stand for, and they need to see someone fighting on their behalf. Should unemployed people have an extension of their benefits? Absolutely. Has that happened every time unemployment has been this high in this country? Absolutely. Call the Republicans bluff, remind the Democrats who's in charge and what you stand for.
But what about the White House pushback being, you could have done this before, you could have before this lame duck session. During the election, you had the opportunity, you had control of the House. Why didn't you vote on it and create this, definition before the election?
Yeah, I actually can't speak to the Democrats in Congress motives in pushing off the vote. What I can tell you is that our 5 million members and the poll that we did this week shows that beyond that, Democratic donors, you saw the story in the LA Times today, that shows that Democratic donors are hugely divided on this. What they want to see right now is a deal that actually calls Republicans bluff, does more than buy an extra year of unemployment at the expense of Social Security. It opens the door to dismantling Social Security, and it sets up a very, very bad negotiating posture for everything we need to solve this country's economic problems moving forward.
We chatted about this meeting with Bill Clinton a moment ago, the famous triangulator, and a lot of folks see that as the Obama model. Do you see shades of that now in what's going forward, and what's the risk there? Could he be alienating the left to a serious degree in the way this is moving?
I think that, again, things are very, very different than they were in 1994. Post-Citizens United, Bill Clinton didn't have $400 million in corporate and outside money coming in to determine his reelection. He also had an extreme wing of the Republican Party that overreached immediately and the government shut down. Boehner's learned from that. He's not going to do it. And the best tool that the administration has going into the 2012 re-elect is the grassroots. The only thing that can beat the corporate air war is the ground game. So when they think, are these people going to vote for us, what they should be saying is, are these people going to get out, hit the pavement, make the phone calls that drove our victory in 2008?
Well, is it worth it, in your mind, for Democrats to lose, to say to the president, we don't want this bill, we're going to vote against it, for the president to lose on this fight and bring it forward in January? Should they vote against it?
Yeah, we absolutely think that this is a raw deal. We think that we can call the Republicans bluff, that there will be hell to pay for them if they deny the American people the unemployment benefits extensions that are required, if they deny the middle class their tax cuts only to pay off their millionaire friends. I don't think they'll do it. And if they do it, there will be hell to pay.
So,
and we'll
so
be in a
call
better
their bluff,
negotiating
and if they
posture.
say, okay, we take the bluff, do Democrats still vote against it and risk going into the next year?
This deal, absolutely. We are with the Speaker that this deal is unacceptable.
What, climbing the president's head for a moment, you just take this, what he calls the shellacking of the midterm elections a month ago. You're worried about taxes going up. What do you think his calculation is here, and where is he missing the message in your mind about what the message of the election was?
It's interesting, Rick. I've thought about this a lot. I think what he's missing, he really does see that the American people want to be brought together towards a common solution. That does not mean Mitch McConnell and Harry Reid. That means all the working class people, all the middle class people who are suffering in this economy. They can be united, and they're going to be united around solutions that really make the rich pay their fair share and help the folks struggling in our country.
The other question I like to bring up is just looking at where House Democrats are in this. I mean, on your website you say, we're raising money to make members pay the steep political price at home if they vote to extend the Bush tax cuts, which says to me, if there may be people who get a primary challenge in 2012 who might not have been on board. Is that what you guys are going to pledge to do? Is primary some of these Democrats who are actually talking with and working with Republicans?
Yeah, look, we saw in 2010 that our members' appetite to fight for people willing to fight for middle-class Americans is huge. Did Blanche Lincoln win? Yes. But
Yes.
did she have to pay a steep price? And was a message sent that this is a long-term fight to get the Democrats to stand up to special interests and fight on behalf of the American people. And we'll use every tool in our toolbox to do that moving forward.
All right, Ilyse Hogue from MoveOn.org. We're going to see more primary challenge. We love primary seasons. That's just the best.
That's right.
Thanks for being
Thank
here.
you.
Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.